Honorable Minister, Honorable Secretary of State, dear mayors, distinguished participants, thank you for having me today, if only by video. I'm very honored to be with you at this important conference on urban security. Special thanks to Secretary of State Isabella Onieto for gathering all of us to work together once again after the 2019 conference on these important issues. At the European Forum for Urban Security, we're very honored to have always a very strong and precious participation of Portuguese cities that contribute to our work. I'd like to thank specifically Luisa Salgueiro, who's here representing the Portuguese Association of Municipalities, but also the European Forum for Urban Security's Executive Committee. I would like to contribute a few words today on 21st century cities and what has happened since 2019. Of course, so much has happened throughout the world since 2019. I can't get into the detail of all of it. Our cities have been going through extreme challenges to urban security. We've had, of course, the health crisis that's provided many new risks and shown us many vulnerabilities that have been existing throughout Europe. We've had cybersecurity threats everywhere and throughout our European cities. Many of our cities, member cities, have been hacked and have been threatened and vulnerabilized by this new type of security challenges. We've also seen a lot of our cities deal with climate change crisis. We've had floods, we've had fires, we've had extreme heat waves. So all of our cities, and this is the essence of what I wanted to share with you today, is what we've seen at the European Forum is that all of our cities have been in a permanent crisis management mode since 2019, which means it's exhausting for the police force, it's exhausting for the teams on the ground. It's also very difficult for the policymakers to take a step back and think long term. The other topic that we've seen as a consequence of all of these crises has been the extreme rise in polarization. Polarization between people who think we should wear masks and people who think we shouldn't, people who want to use public space and people who don't want to use public space at night in the same way. Polarization between different age groups, between different ethnic groups. And this is really a major challenge that's shared by all of our European cities. So what kind of responses are being devised and rolled out in our European cities? What can we do together as a network of European cities also to address all of these challenges? I think, of course, faced with the idea that we're in a permanent crisis mode, of course, we need to develop our agility, and all of our cities, all of you have shown your capacity to readapt public services to these crises. So we need to work on better coordination of multi-stakeholders. We need to work on better safety audits and understanding what our strengths and our weaknesses are on the ground in order to face whatever new crisis is going to come up. But we also need to learn how to better anticipate and how to integrate foresight into our public policy. And at FUS, we're running a project called Icarus Project on this new sort of trend of integrating foresight and design thinking into public policy so that we can not only manage day to day and be reactive, but also be much more proactive on the preventive side. Also anticipate that the population is aging, that the population is changing, that this neighborhood is being developed, and try to think of scenarios in the future so that we're also able to better prevent security challenges. The other challenge that I mentioned, which is polarization, is a huge threat to public security. It's not only a threat for our societies as on the cohesion, but it's also a threat to actual public security, because what we need to ensure today is that every member of society feels that they have a stake in society and a common goal of creating security together. We need, for those of you in the police forces know this, we need citizens to be committed to a certain number of rules together and be committed to also sharing this public security. Which means that really we need to reinvest in social cohesion measures. Of course, we need to invest in prevention. Of course, we always need to invest and improve our security responses and our repression responses as well. But we need to massively reinvest in social cohesion if we want all of the members of society to contribute to this public security and to make it a common good. Many of those our cities throughout Europe, including many Portuguese cities, are working on this right now. We have many working groups who are developing tools to measure polarization, to improve social cohesion, to also improve this foresight capacity. We're very eager to hear the results of your 2 days of conference and to be able to integrate this into the European Forum's corpus of thinking and supporting cities. Thank you very much for your attention.